Welcome everyone to this week's Walk on Water moment. I have a beautiful guest with me today, Dipti Ramessur, and she is looking forward to sharing with us her wow moment. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So welcome, Dipti.
Thank you, Geraldine, for having me on board.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So, Dipti, I guess without wasting any time, what was your wow moment?
My wow moment was probably last year in January when I decided to take a step forward in my career, in my life, to sort of get control over it. I decided to fly to the US. And I arrived in a special little place in Florida called Naples. And I've been over elsewhere in America, but I didn't feel like it was for me. And when I arrived at that place, the moment the car, crossed over the Everglades and I reached that place, there was something which just hit me, and I like a deep emotion, energy, which just kind of came to me and said, you've reached home. And having traveled everywhere, you're always looking for a home. I've been in Australia for quite a few years now, but there's always something saying, oh, it's not really there, not quite there. And there, it just made sense. Everything seemed to be falling into place. So what I did, I thought, maybe it's just the excitement of being in a new place and everything. And I dropped my luggage because I had a business meeting in the evening. I dropped my luggage at the hotel, and I decided to go for a walk, and it took me to the beach. And it was January, it was winter, everyone was freezing, although it was 20 degrees in Florida. I had my t-shirt on, and I walked to the beach and just took off my shoes and walked on the beach up to the pier. And everything just seemed to be falling into place. And I'm an island girl born in Mauritius, and normally I would say home is where my parents are and my dogs are, but it never really felt quite like that. And that place just grounded me, and it's just that moment I knew, okay, this is it. And it just kind of hit me so much that it took, like, the energy was so powerful and very positive that it gives you that push to move forward and determination to even move faster forward. And
that is just fabulous, Dipti. And sometimes, and I understand, because it's really hard to explain that feeling when you have found yourself in a space where it's a bit like deja vu. I've been here
absolutely before. It was like, it was like, I've been here before, and I know that place, and I haven't. And I didn't. It did have a similitude to Italy, maybe, but it was on the other side of the continent completely, and a very small town of maybe 100,000 people, not more, and a very wealthy town, and normally, but it just connected, and since then I've been there 3 times, just to tell you how I've loved it. And every time I go there, every time I need to feel like, okay, I'm a little bit down, I need to go, and it does. I just get there and it falls into place. We're happy. I take my little one over there, and it's just a very, very happy moment, and very free, driving and feeling extremely safe, and just wanting to build and connect with people. And I suppose because you're in a very happy mode, being there, people also connect with you, and people want to be around you. People, you just attract them, I suppose, as a magnet. And so I look forward to being there, because for me, that is my home. Like, it's been my home. That's my heart is there, and it's been my wow moment. Haven't I done that, I suppose I wouldn't have known. I would have been searching around all the time.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's very deep, and it wouldn't be anywhere else, I suppose. This is it.
So Dipti, in having this wow moment for yourself, what would be your advice to others to, if they're feeling like they're not quite where they're supposed to be, or, what would be your advice to them?
I think it can take years to discover yourself and for everything to fall into place or have that feeling that sometimes it's not. It's just more about never losing hope. As long as you don't lose hope and you don't give up, and you've got to keep your goal. I think that goal, to reach your goal, you sometimes have to change your path and walk around that and, and work around it as well. So just never lose hope, I guess, and keep working hard and at getting there and saying to yourself, happiness is within you. So the shift has to come within yourself. But if you're going to always be a victim and go, oh, it's not for me, I'm not going to be there, and you make it hard for yourself, and it just gets harder to get to that goal. So I guess it's working two things at a time, working on yourself and working to get there. I don't know if that makes sense, but it is, I guess, to me, that's what I had to do, is I had to drop my baggage and everything that I was carrying, because I had to look after my little one. So I had to work on myself to get happy. And I've had your help in that, and which was wonderful. And work towards my goal. Because sometimes you lose clarity, you lose a bit of focus around your goal, you kind of get messed up. But I guess if you can work on yourself and you keep working on yourself, you wake up every morning saying, yep, I'm going to be happy today, or something is going to make me happy today. And then you get to that, you keep being happy and you work on your goal little by little. You're going to get there.
Fantastic advice, Dipti. And I do know a little of your story, and I know how you have had, like all of us, had those times of struggle and doubt. And yet every time you've picked yourself up and you've moved forward and just taken that one step at a time. And I know the steps that you've taken have been quite scary steps for the most part. I mean, who else would go across the other side of the world to find home, really?
Exactly. I mean, it's walk in the unknown for me. It's been quite a bit of walk in the unknown ever since I left my parents' home, went to university in Europe and then come down to Australia, different places where, you've got no friends basically, and you've got to start again. But it hasn't really, my mind since I was a child was probably always to be around in the US. And I don't know, I've always had that attachment, not because everyone wants to go there. I mean, my parents don't even understand why I like it so much there. It's not their thing, and they've been there, they've studied there, they've lived there, and it's not their cup of tea. But for me, it's just that particular place. It's not, so I guess everyone's different, as long as you've got to be true to yourself and you've got to do what works for you, I think, at the end of the day. And that's it. And many people along this journey might not understand. You might lose people on that path. But you know what? If they are true friends or really understand and respect you, they'll respect that decision. That's how I feel it is.
Fantastic, Dipti. So I really want to thank you for sharing your walk on water moment with us today. And I know it's going to help so many other women out there, or gentlemen, to follow that heart's desire, no matter where it takes you. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, as always. So everyone, another Walk on Water moment next week.